This is Lady Anaconda, and I just want to make it clear. The truth coming from my lips, how passionately I advocate for betas to accept their natural place, understand they'll never be able to please a woman. Right. Hello, everybody. It is your elite QoS goddess, Lady Anaconda, and I am here for another episode of Racey with another elite QoS, Lady Viper. Thank you so much, darling, for being here tonight to join me.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm definitely excited to be here and have a chat with my sister as always.
QoS sister, soul sisters for sure, sisters in a lot of ways. If you wouldn't mind, if you could tell everybody, because obviously we are here to talk about race play. We are Queen of Spades.
Mhm.
Needless to say, that alone, that title means that we are engaging in a race play lifestyle. I know we both, overlap with our content, with our personal life. We have a very unique kind of relationship with race play. So if you would just tell the people a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so basically, I like to humiliate a lot of sissies and cucks for being, insecure, white, small, and things like that, because I always have had a natural, obsession with loving black men and black women. And I've just always loved them in a sense that, like, they always showed me better kindness and just generosity. And, like, it was easier to get along with them. And I can't speak better enough about my experience with the Black community. And so I like to open up white boys with kink to be able to talk about things that they need to be able to digest better. And if we have to use our tits and our pretty eyes to do so, then that's okay with me.
Amen to that. Like, I mean, that is really, I just respect and appreciate you so much, your authenticity, your talent, your passion, your creativity, your intelligence. There's so many things about you that just I'm so privileged to be your friend, and I'm so privileged, that we get to enjoy this lifestyle, this career, and work together, because it really is like it's a tool that we use to like have this bigger mission of humbling them, these beta cucks, having a space for them where they can be validated in their feelings of inferiority,
Yeah.
of insecurity, and also a place to really glorify honestly, naturally, authentically, the reverence we have for black men and women, black non-binary as well. Like, it should have always been a natural element of calling yourself a QoS,
Right.
being in the QoS lifestyle. And, from our first conversation, like, I just feel like we connected because we like understood that that should be the expectation. If you're calling yourself a queen of spades, like, your loyalty should be to the black superiors over some dinky, insecure little, white beta bitch. But like, everybody has their place. But, like, I know we talk about that whole phenomenon of these wannabe alpha cucks acting like they're calling the shots. And it's like, honey, there's like a natural place for you, but it's at the foot of the bed. That's
There's
that's
a
where you
reason why
belong.
he likes it. I mean, for him to not acknowledge that there is a reason and that there is an inferiority or some kind of like mental, that you feel less manly to a black man, like there has to be some kind of component there. And if there isn't, then it just doesn't make sense to me as a woman who sees this dynamic like as a cuck dynamic. And I guess because you and I, we do have, black husbands, it is a little different because we're not married to a cuck, so we don't necessarily
Mhm.
like see a cuckold dynamic like on our daily basis in our lifestyle because we do have a different dynamic. But I feel like we should be open and be able to talk about that part of it. And for them to just say that they're a cuck just because they like to watch or because this, and they still deserve this, that, and the third. And it just, men shouldn't be allowed to control things where women should have the power to call the shots. Women don't get to call the shots enough. We have fought for so long to call the shots. Don't take it over in the bedroom. That's where we need to be number one.
Yeah. And especially like, hello, cuck. Like, you are the least useful one in this room in this dynamic.
Hmm.
Like, you are so like to not have a humble approach as a cuck is just mind blowing, and it's just peak white entitled, trying to overshadow their insecurities and inferiority complex, but like you really are trying to convince us that you're in charge, and meanwhile like you're the one who can't stop. You claim that you're straight, but you can't stop thinking about another man's member, to the point where books have been written about it, to the point where like entire nations have been colonized and terrorized because you just can't sit with the fact that you just want proximity to these black men, like you, that you are just in absolute awe of black people, and you want to get mad. This is something we should definitely talk about, is like how we both constantly get called racist, like not
Oh,
just us, anybody now, because that's one of the phenomenons. I was actually talking to Pagan about it earlier, about the QoS findom phenomenon that's happening now. It's like not just is cuckolding, interracial cuckolding specifically, becoming so much more popular,
yeah.
so much more prevalent, both content wise, lifestyle wise. You see it on regular social media all the time now in a way that I know I didn't see when I started, whatever it was, 8+ years ago. And it's just like fascinating to me that they want to get, so even while getting turned on by the content, even while getting turned on by everything we say and do and wear, they want to, at the same time call us racist, like be so mad and call us racist. And first of all, read a book, learn the definition of racism. Like, until black people are able to oppress you back, we really can't have the conversation about it being racist. But like people be jumping in your DMs calling you racist all the time, don't they?
Well, yeah, there's a bad stigma I feel like behind it. And well, not only that, we're also in a porn realm, so we're getting backlash of stigma because we are, not afraid to be racy. We are not afraid to say like
Hmm.
we find black men more sexually appealing. And of course that's going to drive a insecure white beta like mad, I mean, I get it. I get why like seeing pretty girls like us saying what we speak, because we don't just act, like we just kind of come up with what we think in our heads and then we talk about it, like so.
So true. It's like we could just like go for, like, I've seen you in action. Like we could both riff for hours, like without, because we're just saying exactly what we think. Like there's not like, oh, I have to be it, like I'm a kink dispenser and I'm taking on this role, I'm putting on this character. We are literally just filming what we would already say. We are literally just, like, I say that all the time, like to these subs, I'm like, listen, you're paying for attention. You're not paying for me to pretend. I don't pretend. Everything I say to you is exactly what I think. It's exactly what I feel. And you're welcome.
Yeah, I always thought that was wild that like they think that it's some kind of pretend thing too on top of that, because some girls are willing to, pretend and be fake, and it's like that's not going to help with your authenticity as your person that you're presenting. Like I think being authentic, it really helps in an influencer dynamic. And I'd like to look at myself more now as like an influencer versus like I'm creating content. Like, yes, I
Yeah,
create content,
so
but I'm
true.
not faking it. So I am kind of an influencer when you think about it. I'm just a not safe for work kind of
Big
influencer.
time. Big time. Yeah. No, like you're like a mommy influencer like these other bitches, and all these bitches are your sons. Like, let's be
Yeah.
realistic. Like, this is just showing how the world actually is and bridging that dynamic. Because I think about it all the time, like how I feel like one of the reasons they get some of these white guys, which, by the way, a lot of them conservatives, they are red wing, red hat wearing. And actually, I'm probably gonna have to pull that up. Like, there's that whole thing about like Trump being obsessed with BBC and like it being on record that he like pissed off some Playboy models
Oh my
because he was
God.
talking of asking them if they liked the big black members, and they were just like, they were probably pissed because they were probably like, you didn't pay for a cuck session, sir. If you want cuckolding and humiliation, that'll be triple. You only paid me to be here and pretend to not be repulsed by you.
I mean, we all know it's small. So,
We all, like, look at the hands. Are you kidding me? There's no illusion. Like, I this and this is, again, like people need to make these connections. Like Um, Trump is literally out here being fin-domed by his wife, like totally financially dominated by not only his wife, by the Saudis, by Russia. Like he is a total cuck, like big time, and all his followers total cucks,
Yeah.
and that is the energy. Like she's slapping his hand away and like dancing with other men and like big smile on her face. She scowls the minute he like turns away from her, basically rolling her eyes. Like it's we're watching a woman as like a female led relationship where she's just like, you better go out there and get this money because I am not with you for any other reason. And
Oh
she's
my
just
God.
and meanwhile he's so insecure, like literally trying to bring an entire government down to validate himself as anything other than the beta male he is, and all the beta males that follow him are trying to convince themselves that he's more powerful than he is so that they feel more empowered. And it's like, just take your place with the cuck chair. Like, I'm going to show this video real quick because this is like something that people need to understand is like a very standard thing. Everybody sees it all the freaking time. Okay, how do I make it full size? I am so like entertained by the fact that this guy went to all of these hotels and was just like, why are these all the same? Why is it always here? All right, let's see if I can make it. Doesn't want to make, oh God. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
There we go.
Like, I love that he's just calling out the fact that these are cuck chairs in every like one chair. You assume, right, that like for the most part it's a couple in a hotel room together. And yet there's always just the one chair and it's facing the bed. Like, what are we talking about here? You know? Come
And it's
on,
literally in
guys.
every single like. Is it a law? Did some cuck make it an American law? Because I mean, I'm actually curious now that I really think about it. Because it's literally almost like it's required to be there in the bedroom. At
It
that.
does seem like it would be this like obscure, weird law that's like we don't even realize that that's what's going on. They really got together in Congress. They're like, listen, just push this through in the middle of the night at some point. You know, we need to make sure we have it available. We can't be like worried. And it's like, first of all, you don't even deserve a chair. You should be in the closet. You should work your way up to the chair. I mean, I'm also here for like you should work your way out of chastity.
Yeah.
The
Lock it up
beta males
immediately.
just lock it up as, you know, like a college gift. Like, congratulations, you're out in the real world. Isn't it
Honestly.
fantastic? Here's a cage, and you need to earn time out of it.
Honestly, yeah, in a perfect world, like he's not even in the room, he's on the outside in the hallway figuring out what to do with himself, getting snacks, getting ice, getting water for after, getting extra towels at front desk. Like in a perfect scenario, he's not even anywhere near you, so you could just focus on yourself and taking the, you know,
Yeah, I know. That's like, you know, because
what
FLR is
was
so
Trump calling
important.
it? You said that's what I wanted to use in
I was
the
saying member. I don't,
member. That's what I
it's
wanted to
funny.
say.
I was like literally trying to remember. I was like, I've watched podcast episodes with porn stars. I was like, are they just saying dick left and right? I couldn't even.
Member.
Oh God, I have a sub that always calls them big willies, and I don't know why it makes me want to die. I don't know. I'm like, what? Those big willies. That's what he
Big
always says. I'm
Willies.
like, oh God, if
Why?
I could just. It's the thing is like one of the reasons why I love a good pain slut is because it's the closest thing that I have to being able to reach through the monitor and strangle them myself. Like. So, just to let everybody know, we are huge fans of a good pain slut. And a good pain slut in the BDSM world is really, you know, he's in subspace and he's really happy to submit to his dominance sadistic desires. And this could be, it could be so many different things, everything from needle play to just being tied up to
Electricity, hopefully.
electricity. Oh my gosh. Like when I see a dom with the shock, the
Hmm.
taser to the balls, I just feel all warm and cozy
I,
inside.
I love it.
I mean, it's funny because like, the whole we were talking about it earlier, the fantasy versus reality element of, all of this, because we do live this genuine lifestyle, right? Because for so long, the term QoS, this whole having cuckolds, it was a couple, and they are in some way linking up with, tributing a black king to be a quote unquote bull in the dynamic, and cuckold, the husband, but it's all, consensual, it's all, you know, whatever. But we are of the generation, we're not marrying these white boys. We don't have to. We don't have to pretend to like them. We don't have to date them. We certainly don't have to marry them to be able to have a dom sub dynamic, to be able to use cuckolding as one of the ways that we take control of them, to enjoy that kind of kinky lifestyle. We're of the generation that we're actually dating, like we're not just trying to fuck black men, we love black men. We want to date black men, we want to have babies with black men, we want to raise a family with a black man. Like it's a whole new world now, like to have cucks that are just subs,
I think
really.
for us too, like, we just don't want anything to do with these white men since we are in that subspace for black men that, like, what are you doing with us unless you are contributing to our elite lifestyle? Like, I think that's what makes it such a power dynamic with us is that, like, they know they have to pay for us in order for us to give them attention because otherwise, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are
It
you
was
talking to me?
it was funny. Somebody said to me that they didn't think of me as a findom just because they have like a bad view of findoms, where they feel like there's there's not even much to a findom's brand outside of just dominance and greed. Which I'm not saying that. Like I'm not trying to belittle any findom, because I can respect the complexities of, all different women and all the different things that somebody brings to their brand, the way that at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing online, being the most authentic version of yourself, making it as personal as you can to make it as unique as possible, is like really what's going to make you successful and set you apart. But I thought it was interesting because they were like, like you were saying earlier, that you think of yourself more as an influencer now than just a content creator, because we really are promoting our lifestyle. Like we really are proud and passionate about our lifestyle, and we're really, wanting to put it out there. So I thought that was interesting that they were like, oh, I just see findom is something that you do, like financial domination is something that you do, and I see you as this, elite QoS goddess and everything else. And I'm just like, yeah, but it's such a big part of it. Like, yeah, I guess financial domination is a tool we use more than it's necessarily our identity. But like, our bodies are not a white man's reparations to provide. He need like,
No.
I don't care if you're fumbling any bag. It's not my problem. You better come correct. Like you need to pay for attention, because what are you doing here otherwise? What are you bringing to the table? Like, yeah, you could be furniture, I guess. But that doesn't mean you should be in the room just because you can portray an inanimate object. Yeah, you got to pay. You got to pay up, baby.
Yeah, you got to figure it out somehow. I mean, gosh, at least be useful as like a content slut so people can make money off of you in content or anything. Like it's as easy as like there are ways to make money now in 2025. Figure it
Mhm.
out. Like I just don't think it's that hard. You could literally even just sign up for DoorDash and do it on the weekend for extra money for your goddess. It's really like they accept anybody.
Sell things that you don't deserve to have too.
Literally, go through your house, find everything, and if you're really desperate, put on some stockings and hit the corners. I don't know what else to tell. That's what I
Hit
tell
the
them. I'm like, hit the corners if you
Hit
really
the
want to.
corners, man. Go like, $20 a pop at the glory hole. Like make it work, I mean, we don't have time for anything else. Like that is the one that, intensity is like something I see in the financial domination community, and like, just the I'm a luxury. Talking to me is a luxury. It's a privilege. Like I love that energy, and that's one of the reasons why like I'm just always going to be so pro woman, so pro findom. Like get it, honey. Like regardless of what you like to do, because we like to make content, because we like to make content, like, but we would, it's not even necessary. we're choosing to do it because it's fun and we're going to be doing that anyway.
Yeah, I think content can help to an extent because it like does bring more fans and it does bring those fin subs who, will watch you getting railed and they're like, "Oh my god, now I'm in love with this girl, blah blah blah. Let me go send her thousands of dollars." Like, sure. But yeah, we're not like when we still can do the same thing and just get on here and be like, "Yeah, you're a piece of garbage. You're literally trash. 2 inches is never going to be enough, even for,
Right.
the smallest woman in the world, and nobody's going to want you. So you've got to cough up some money." Like,
Like you could live in the gym. It's not going to change your dick size. It's not going to change your stroke game. It's not going to change whether or not you have game. It's just not going to change anything. And, I just like have really loved to see the shift from the QoS name mostly being hot wives with a white husband to this new generation that, is actively trying to humble and educate and mold, these bitch boys that just, yeah, because they'll just sit around all day, complain that they're broke, but just sit around all day and be a porn addict. And as dominants, like we're just like, no, you need to contribute more to your existence, to society. Here, let me give you purpose. Let mommy help. Let me
right.
let me make your life have a little bit more substance than just because they really I think that's like the fascinating thing about me is like in college even I wasn't watching a lot of triple X content because I was out living. Like even now, like, I'm out here doing it. Like I have to remind myself sometimes, like, you really like that person, like you should watch like their newest video or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so hot. But I just don't sit around like watching it like that because I would rather be out living it. And they're like sitting around 6 hours straight. I don't think people realize like some of these gooner guys, like they really hours and hours and hours. So if I could get them to do literally anything else that's like more useful or like you said, DoorDash, make money, like make a freaking hustle. Like, I mean, you could just post videos on YouTube and have like a relaxing music channel and make stream money. Like are you so useless? Come on. But
Yeah.
we,
You could
we
literally
know
do ASMR and they'd be like, "Oh my god, my shrimp tingles when you speak,
Oh
mommy.
my
Tell me
gosh,
how I'm small and whisper it in my ear."
my gosh. And like what people don't realize, like we can send them a picture of a cereal box and they'll pay for it. And like they'll be so turned on by like being like so disregarded, like that they just pay more. So it goes along with the territory. It really, really does. And I just, one of the things I want to do with Racey is just like, this like peek into this actual world because we also we as the QoS we love black superiors. We love submitting to black men and women and like, like I said, black non-binary, like that's our lifestyle. We're very switchy. We're very switchy, naturally submissive over here, but naturally dominant over here. And I just want to like show people that everything's like consensual over here, even when you think it's a little crazy, that our subs are like dying for this content. They're dying for these interactions. Like if we go live, they just lose their minds and they just want to hear us like talk shit and talk about how much more fun we have than them. And, it gives them a place of, feeling like that's where they belong. And so you're welcome. We're just trying to make the world a better place where everybody has their natural lane. So like you can hate on it, but so there's I'm just sharing some, little videos because like I think it's so fascinating how much BNWO as this concept, which just to clarify, there is the blacknewworldorder.com, which is an actual black owned and operated consensual race play space. And then there is like the hashtag BNWO, and that hashtag covers a multitude of different types of content, most of which is made by white submissives, typically sissy identifying white submissives, for other white submissives. And it's it has nothing to actually really do with black content creators. Like I'm loving seeing more black content creators taking like making content that is BNWO to them. Like I see some really amazing black doms like doing a crap ton of financial domination for reparations, or like ball busting, sissy training. Like that's definitely out there now, but for a very long time, like since the Tumblr days, a lot of like the BNWO was really just these sissies talking about how they're going extinct because they can't compare to BBC, and they're just dressing themselves up and plapping themselves with something while they're caged up watching, triple X content. But now we're seeing like just, oh my gosh, so much content like TikTok and Instagram reels and like all of this, like referencing the fact that white guys are just obsessed with cuckolding, the fact that white guys are just like obsessed with, black men and their members, and the fact that women like them so much. And it's just, and even just women like being interviewed by black men talking about how, oh no, I'm only into black guys. Oh yeah, I have a boyfriend, or we're on a break, but you're really hot. So yeah, we can hang out later. Like that is such a common thing now. And it's nice to see. But
It is.
I like to make that distinction. Like, just because something's BNWO doesn't mean it's authentically like what BNWO should be. There's like race trader, kink, and stuff out there. Like, do people call you a race trader ever?
No, I've been called
Not as
like
much anymore. I
old
used to get
slurs, I feel like, but
it. We get mud shark. Do you get mud shark?
yeah.
Like as if I give a shit. Like whatever makes you feel better, white boy. You're so fucking fragile.
That's literally all it proves too. Okay, so the one thing I was thinking about too while you were
Yeah,
describing the
please.
TikToks is I've also noticed there's more women who are getting online confessing being like a snow bunny. Like they might look like me, like this girl, she's going pretty viral. She has like red hair, green eyes, and she's
Yeah, yeah,
basically
yeah.
talking about how she's a snow bunny and that like she actually has a white baby daddy or something like that that's like, a deadbeat, and then a black baby daddy who's like awesome and on it and everything. Or maybe I'm mixing her with somebody else, but like
No, it's
the
okay.
comments are like what I'm focused on really.
Mhm.
The comments that just something like that just show just how deeply rooted in racism and insecure like they are about their own fucking worthless ass worms down there. Like I
Yep.
don't know. I don't know.
Yep. No, big time. And, just even the fact that like these white racist guys, especially these conservatives, try so hard to project like these hateful racist attitudes because they're so envious of like how naturally like masculinity, being sensual, like being just connected to themselves, to each other, to women, like how easily black men can connect with women, read women, please women. Like they're so insecure, just the same way that they're like obsessed with black culture, but then they still want to hate black people. Like they're so insecure. And it's just, like you see these negative attitudes and you're just like, oh my God, you would feel so much better if you were just like getting tormented and like like just sexualize it, because the feelings aren't going away. The feelings are not going anywhere. So like, we do encourage the sexualization of those feelings, like because it's natural. And this, I just thought this was funny. This is just like a funny clip that I think that Lady Viper, I think you'll enjoy it. You've probably seen it, but it's just like it's just cute. It's just this cute little chick who. All right, let me put the sound on. My bitch ass. Oh right.
Say once you go black, you'll never go back. It's not necessarily true. Okay? It's that once you go black, you might go back. But white guys will seem gay. Sorry, it's not the same. You can't go from yelling Jamal to yelling Andy in bed. It doesn't have the same ring to it. I bought him a pair of Jordans. He put those on. I was like, ugh. This looks like when somebody tries to soup up a Honda Civic.
It's just so silly, but it's just, like women get a taste of real masculinity, and they just are not trying to deal with anything else after that. It's just, but I think the reason that FLR cuckolding relationships will always be popular, like I don't think that it's just going to go away altogether and it's just going to be women like like us who, 24/7 live wanting to be devoted to black men. Some women are not built to be partners with like black men because black men like really like it puts me in subspace. And some women, they want to have a little bitch around the house that they can boss the fuck around. Like they just, and that's okay. That's okay because like I don't have to boss around my husband. Sometimes I get bratty on some sub life shit, so I get my back blown out. That part's real, like the bratty sub thing. Yeah, but like I don't dominate my husband, and it's because he can he can lead me like in a way that like I enjoy and makes me feel secure in my femininity, and like I don't feel invalidated as the intelligent creative person that I am. But some women, I think they just want a little bitch boy around the house. They want to get their back blown out by a real man, and they just that's the dynamic that they're built for, that they want. But man, I just love that whole thing because we just deal with like these white guys like just coming to us constantly being like, is it normal to think about dick all day long? And like it's just this whole idea that like white boys seem gay. Like I just feel like she hit the nail on the head. Like it's just like I just wanted her to do a whole set just about that because I'm just so curious what kind of like specific examples that conversations or whatever that she's had with white guys, like, different. Because I wish women knew how many of these guys are like going to work, not just in chastity, but in panties. Like, they're just going about their normal day like that. Like a lot of them. It is not. This is like what I want people to. It's not rare. It's not.
It's not. And even if they're not in like panties or chastity, they're sneaking into the bathroom texting women that are just like me and you.
Hmm.
And they're like, I
Hmm.
wish I was in panties and chastity for you. And it doesn't even have to be like, snow bunny goddesses. Like they could have found like any goddess on
Yeah,
online
true.
and they're texting
Any
her.
dom. Yeah, yeah. But it's like funny too because I feel like there's like such a cliche in BDSM that like these guys that have these high powered jobs, and they have to be so alpha all day long, and then they can finally like let go of control and like be dominated and not being like kind of turn their brain off and not be in control anymore. But like we deal with like so many guys that are actually like whether they have money or not, whether they're good at their job or not, like they don't they kind of are bitch boy losers. Like they really are like super like either insecure or angry or like frustrated, and they really are looking for like their natural place. And I think that's why they end up more in like the cuck world than just, oh, I pay for a domination session once in a while, and it's just me handing over money because I make a lot of money and I have nobody to spend it on because I have no girlfriend, I have no life, I have no friends, I have no whatever. But like some of these guys really are pathetic, and they really like I was like putting my tampon in the mashed potatoes and making my cuck eat it in the closet. Like that is not that like again, we're not kink shaming, but like that's kind of a loser thing to do. I think we can agree.
We can agree that a dude who wants mashed potato tampons from a goddess is pretty fucking pathetic.
Like I mean, that's I think a little less common. Not that it's not, unsurprising that we could have that effect, but like they just like I don't know, it just seems like funny to me. I could never just go back to ever like not that I really did since I was really young, but like just the idea that I could see a white guy as like a real man. It's like it's just not possible after all the things that these white guys have like said and done over the years. I'm like, even when you think you're masculine, like why? Because like you hunt or fish or something, or because you drive a truck, like you resent and terrorize your own women. So you're insecure just around women, let alone around an actually masculine man who's very comfortable in his masculinity and isn't intimidated by a woman who is sexual and intelligent and knows what she wants and every like just yeah. But also like there is definitely more content now coming out, just like not a sexual thing, not a BNWO thing, just white people being like honest that when they're in spaces with a lot of black people, they feel more welcome, they feel safer, they feel like black people are just kinder, like not only to each other but to others. And like white people really don't deserve that. Like we don't the shit that our ancestors did. Like so that just shows like just how much better they are.
Well, seriously, like even like that viral thing that everybody talks about of this sweet lady who brought like a antipasto salad to a 4th of July cookout, and this like it was a hick white Southern family, and they were like,
Mhm.
"We don't know you round these parts," and they kicked this woman out, and she made this antipasto salad from her garden. She made it from scratch
Wow.
herself, and she's just a sweet lady. Like I followed her afterwards, and she's just this like sweet earthy mama lady, and like they kicked her out just because we
Wow.
don't know who you are. And I'm like, that sounds a lot like Southern whatever, like, but you got to be nice to people in general. Like, if you can't even be nice to other people who look like you, then how could anyone expect you to be a good person?
But they're also like stupid enough to think that Trump likes them, even when he
Right.
says that I like you because you're idiots and you'll support whatever I tell you. So, we could dive down that rabbit hole about like the uneducated in America and how they
Oh
just
my
like don't even
God.
they don't even know how stupid they look. But like,
And it's not even that hard to educate yourself. If you do a little bit of research, you will obviously see all the things that he wants to be a criminal. He wants to be a fucking like
great.
absolute lunatic criminal.
Like that is his MO, guys. Hello. Lunatic criminal. That is
He's
oh
literally on his
man.
phone being like, "Hi guys, doing crime night now. Hee hee hee, XOXO, fashionista."
Yeah, I love the video. Oh my god, I should have found one of these where he was just like being made fun of by this girl where she was just like Trump really missed his calling to be like a bratty high school mean girl. They're just like his vibe is so airhead high school mean girl that just walks in circles, says fucking nothing, is all about the vibes like of just being a brat. Oh my gosh. And so and that's why it doesn't surprise me that all these conservatives like just take to being feminized so much, which it's funny. I saw something earlier about, and I've seen this before. It came up again, and I was wondering if you saw it about how some DOMs on Twitter get so frustrated by these these subs that identify with being sissy or being a sissy, how misogynistic it is that they're like, oh, feminize me, it's so degrading. Feminize me, I'm such a little bitch, I'm such a slut, I'm such a this, like that. This idea of like being feminized and sissified is so rooted in this idea that women are lesser than. um but at the same time, I don't view it that way. I view it more as you are a failure as a man. You are a failure as a man, and
You
you will
failed.
never, like, you will never, no matter how many, like the, okay, because again, being a sissy has nothing to do with being a trans woman. Being a trans woman, that's who you really are. That is your lifestyle and your identity and like your biology. Like, that's so different. Like, you can be a trans woman and have a sissy fetish. That is totally, do whatever you want. But the majority of these like sissies are ugly as fuck, lame as fuck, pathetic as fuck, will never be a beautiful woman. Will never, like, no matter if they do HRT or not, like, they are not going to ever even come close to being on our level. Right. And
Yeah.
that's like their whole thing is that, like, I'm a failure as a man and I'll never be a beautiful goddess. So I'm literally just like this loser bitch boy in the middle. And please, goddess, mold me into whatever you can make me to be any sort of useful, because I can't ever be either of these things.
I could never be as good as you, but I could never be a manly man, so
Yeah, like, so like you're just a little cross-dressing reject that like doesn't even know how to do their makeup, so you'll never even look good. Like, you're just
so I
pathetic.
guess now that I think back at it, if I caught on that a subscriber was into the sissy fetish because they had a misogynistic view of women, like I
Mhm.
kind of could tell, and it never really lasted that long, if that makes sense. I kind of just never vibed with that kind of attitude, and it like I feel like a lot of people who do come to me wanting feminized, like they want it to better their life. They want it to indulge in their kink, and even if they're not necessarily trans, like that makes them happy. And so that's why I like to say, like, just do whatever you like and what makes you happy. And if it makes you feel good, fine. Like, as long as you're not out here being a raving lunatic, then like, let's have fun.
Straight up, like, absolutely, because, like, yeah, that the pathetic energy comes from, like, not fully, like you're saying, like, really opening themselves to, yeah, like, really committing, or really, like, and really humbling themselves to this, new identity that they could adopt and everything. Like, if you're just, like, hung up on the fact that you'll never compare with black men, but you also will never be a goddess, like, yeah, you're just always going to be, like, this weird little loser cuck in the middle. But, like, you need to just embrace some realities that maybe what you thought your life was going to be is not what it's going to be. Like, maybe you're not going to have this typical relationship or this typical sex life that you, as this over groomed to be, believing that you're so masculine, you're so special, you're so deserving, you're so, and it hasn't worked out for you yet. Maybe try something new. Maybe open your mind, open the possibilities of what your life could actually. What, isn't it a lot better to have this, like, kinky lifestyle where you're exploring your sexuality, exploring, like, different roles that you could be in, than just being literally an angry, potentially violent, like, loser incel? Like, is it really that hard to sell? Because I really don't think so.
So one thing I do want to touch on is, like, okay, so maybe we should touch on the topic of the friend zone, because this is where I think they misconstrued certain people like us. Like, we may be in like relationships with black men, but that doesn't mean we're not open to like a friendship slash dom sub dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stress that to more people that I talk to. I'm like, look, I'm not just here to, like, you know what I mean, like, tell you you're a bitch, take your money and scram. Like, I am down to make friends and community
We're
out of people
scary,
who are
though.
like
It's
minded.
not our fault. We're just
I
really good at what we do, and we're scary.
Yeah, I've had a few people tell me that they're afraid of us, and it's like, is it because we laugh at your pathetic little man? Um,
Uh, I think it's because we both, like, laugh at their demise, laugh at how pathetic they are, laugh, laugh, laugh. Like, we're obviously entertained by it. And then, like, on the flip, like, we literally can. I have seen you get into, like, like, real, like, serious dom. So, yeah, I think both are terrifying to some of them,
well,
especially when they know, like, what, like, how, like, eager they are to please, and, like, oh, I'm fucked, like that energy.
I guess I had never done an in-person, more political humiliation based session until I
Mm,
recently did the stuff with Cucky Seth. I don't know if people watching are familiar with Cucky Seth. Cucky Seth is Lady Anaconda's devoted cuck. Very funny person, very, very, very devoted to the lifestyle.
very.
He's the first
I'm gonna
person
have
who
him on the show for sure.
I
For
love
sure.
that. I included a little bit of political humiliation, and I had him saying like "fuck MAGA" while I was like shoving a black dildo in his fucking mouth, and then I
That
made
was
him hit his balls and
fantastic.
in the Trump shirt and everything. I was like, no, we're gonna do this. We're
Oh,
gonna, like, I know Lady A will love to see this, so
I
we're gonna roll with
did.
this.
I did very much love to see that. I mean, like, as soon as I could put a bitch in a Trump mask, I was with it too. So,
I
yeah, all of
love
that
that
entertains
scene.
me. All of that entertains the shit out of me, because, again, I really do believe that Trump is just another insecure beta incel loser.
And
Um,
I think women should be allowed to dress up losers as Trump, put him in a Trump mask, and then like group beat the shit out of him. I mean, that's kind of what I want to do if I'm being honest.
like, people have to realize too, like, our lifestyle really is very unique. Like, we are busting, like, kicking our sub in the balls at the bar, and that's, like, just a typical night out for us. So, there's just, I don't really vibe with the civvies, the civilians, the vanillas, because I've just always been a little wild, and, it's just something I'm unapologetic about, and I found my people. I
We're not
found
afraid to
I
offend.
found my
Like,
sisters. No,
we're really not. And I think
we're
that's a
really not.
thing that like prevents people from really being authentic with themselves, is they're afraid. And it's like, once you stop caring, like, it's gonna take its time, don't get me wrong. Like, you might have like breaks where you're like, oh no, this sucks and I care right now, but like, baby, your life will just continue. You'll move on. Like,
And it's, yeah, it's just, again, it's like interesting how you can see, like, there are women online that they're happy being like kink dispensers, and they know that's what they are. You can pay them for a fantasy, whether they actually believe in it or not. They feel like, well, I'm doing this for work. This is what sells. This is what I'm doing. No, we're living it. We're out here living it. We really believe it. You know, we get our subs to donate money. We get our subs to buy us gifts from black owned businesses. We are actually dating, loving, marrying, building families with black men. Like, it's a different world over here. You know, our subs are so thrilled to be able to be their honest selves with us, and have a place for that white guilt, that white shame, that white insecurity, that obsession with black men, again, whether they're just cucks or sissy cucks or anything else. Like, you're going to be a wallet no matter what, but like, there's room for everybody over here, as long as you understand our race play is about, you know consensual fun, sure, but it is definitely about being honest that white guys have fucked up a lot of shit, and we are like, I do not have the typical, like, these MAGA women, like Marjorie Taylor Greene or something was saying the other day. She's like, the white men in the on the Republicans, like, they're not treating their women right. Yeah, we've been telling you that. Like, they hate women. They hate their own, they hate themselves. They hate white women. They hate everybody. They're just angry, angry, angry. And the women that are still like marrying, dating, supporting like these MAGA men, like, you have Stockholm syndrome. Like, you're in love with your oppressor. It's like I'm not
They
even
were
kidding.
just
Like,
successfully brainwashed enough that they can't question like the man that is literally putting them in a crappy position, because it's like you wanna hate all of these liberal ideas that literally gave you what you're using. Like, I'm sorry, I can't
right.
think of you as like a MAGA content creator when you're literally online being a
Mhm.
woman. Why are you not in the kitchen? I'm already
Real.
not sold.
Amen. Like, you're allowed to make your own money. You're allowed to just like do what you want to do and put yourself all on the internet.
You're
Like,
not pregnant and barefoot and have a black eye. Like, I'm sorry, you got to fix all of that right now.
ooh. We're coming real. We're coming hard. I'm gonna play
That
this.
is
I'm gonna play this
1950s.
clip.
That is what it is.
Right. Like, and I'm saying, like, women, ladies, we have choices now. Like, please do not choose to like, I, oh my God, like, I like to be choked. I like to be slapped around. I like a lot of different things, but it's all consensual and I get to agree to it. It's not me being, at the whim of some really angry, insecure little white bitch who's trying to like cosplay as a real man and it's not working out. So now he's taking it out on me. Please.
And like the best part of it all
Please.
too is if we're not feeling it, like then we don't have to like perform for
We
some
don't have to
bitch
do
ass
anything.
man's feelings.
Mm-mm. Yeah, literally. Like, I can't even. It was funny. Living. I used to have, and I'm still cool with him. We still friendly, especially because he's old, and I feel like I have to check in on him. Um, but Cucky Bob was living. I lived with him for a while in California, and it is, whew, even a well trained servant, it is tough being on some 24/7 lifestyle, live in situation with somebody who just sexualizes every element of your being. Because as women, as sex workers, it's just a part of what we do. Like, we might be more honest than some women about, how insatiable we may be. I think that is a very real thing that's starting to come out more, that women are being a lot more honest about, like, no, I love sex. Like,
Sex
I
is
may not,
amazing. We need it. We need it to function.
I'm not sleeping with my husband because either, I married somebody I'm not attracted to, or because he doesn't, validate my feelings or whatever, like, whatever's going on. You thought you could just marry the little white bitch boy that, looks like a safe bet. And now you're just like, this is the worst thing ever. Um, all of these, it's just, it's just like, the idea that, like, oh, women just don't like sex because they don't want to sleep with you is just like ridiculous. And just being around somebody, all it just it's an emotional, like, mental labor thing to have to just constantly check them and be like, we're not talking about anything sexual right now. Like, I don't exist to just like, if you're having a sexual thought, you get to engage with me right now on that level. Like, it's all it I decide when I'm in a mode where I want to interact with you, like that. So it was a lot of fun to be able to, like, obviously be weighted on hand and foot and everything, but it's just it was annoying sometimes. You know, just like that I couldn't go to the bathroom without him wanting to sexualize me pissing.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Who
know,
wants to go
I
to the
couldn't
bathroom
fart.
and think about like, okay, now I have this to like, I have to like have this
Like, that's
loser
my
like.
private, like, yeah, like, you know, it's one thing for like in a scene and then all of a sudden I have to pee and I tell you to shut the fuck up and get on the ground and I piss on your face. Like, I'm in the mode, I'm in the moment, like that's my choice. Like, versus I'm having a regular bodily function and you're trying to like, or, you know, or even just like one of my Black Kings hits me up and I'm talking to him and you want to be involved in that, you know, conversation. It's like, how many of those conversations do I have a day? Like, I don't have to involve you in everything. So, you know, it's whether you're in a cuckold relationship with a husband or, you know, a live-in slave, like that's some serious, that takes a lot of energy in my opinion. And I, you know, hope a lot of the women that are in those dynamics really embrace the female-led element of it, because I would just be exhausted. It's just like, okay.
Having a sub the whole day like
Oh my God. Like, are you like, I picture it, you know, I've said this before, like living in, like being like Belle and living in the castle and having like talking furniture, and you're just like, you're literally a candlestick. Why do you have so many opinions? Like, you are literally a futon. Why are you speaking up? Why do you think I need your input? Like, go be a fucking futon until I need a futon. Like, go be a hat rack until I need a hat rack. Why are you talking? Why is there so much of this going on? Like, I'm trying to understand why you think I need your opinion. Like, that's how I honest swear, that's how I view white boys. I'm just like, can you just like go be a chair? And until I need to sit down, just shut up and be a chair.
Yeah, I think white boys like we wanted men to talk about their feelings, and we talked about men wanting to talk about their feelings. I think white guys took it way too far because we're like, full stop, we don't
I
care about y'all's.
I'm gonna show this clip because like I just want like people to understand like the this is literally like how I'm sure you're gonna agree with me. Like, this is literally how and this is a white guy making this clip. So again, like we've talked a little bit about like fantasy versus reality.
Yeah.
Like, to say like I hate all white men, like that's ridiculous, because some are genuinely trying to educate themselves, be allies, put their energy, their money into, you know, black causes, black businesses. Like, so as long as they're doing what they should be doing as like, you know, again, working on trying to be allies or better submissives to either their QoS dom or their black dom or a couple or whatever, um I'll give them some like, okay, you're not the biggest piece of shit. Like, okay, like you are not a total waste of space. Like, thank you for acknowledging the fact that you could actually contribute something useful to this world. But the majority of white guys, like if they just want to live in a delusion that they are so put upon because they're no longer being treated like the most privileged class in the world, like please be so for real. Like you suck. So I'm just gonna share this video real quick. Again, I wish I could make them big, but I'm just gonna let that go right now. This is not what you've probably seen this, honestly, but I'm just gonna
Can
show.
someone please explain to me why conservative white men feel they are under attack in the United States?
It's because when they make a dumb racist joke, people roll their eyes instead of laughing with them. It's because when they tell you there are some good ones, but people stare at them like they're being pieces of garbage. It's because when they look at what happens to brown children, they go, yeah, but they shouldn't have broken the law. It's because when they hear about people taking away food from kids in school, they go, there's no such thing as a free lunch. You should have to work for it. When someone gets a cancer treatment that is, you know, poor because of Medicaid, they go, but my tax dollars. At the end of the day, it's because being terrible makes them and they're getting consequences for being terrible and
He nailed that though.
has opened their eyes to how terrible and just generally shitty conservative-minded men are. And they're not getting a free ride in a fancy car anymore. Society at large has looked at them and went, you know what? You're kind of the worst. I don't want to be around you. No liberal-minded person is going into conservative spaces and being like, what do you mean you won't tolerate me? We don't want to be there.
Right.
But where do you find conservative men? Trying to date liberal-minded women, trying to be in liberal spaces. And, you know, they want to go out into the world and where they're like, everybody that doesn't think like me is a fucking moron shirts. And then they're like, why are you so triggered, lib? At the end of the day, it's because,
I swear.
like I said, more people than ever know that they're trash, and they're treating them like they stink because metaphorically and literally they do. That's why.
And
I'm
literally.
so obsessed.
I love
Literally,
that.
right.
I didn't get the chance to watch the whole thing. I only saw the beginning clip of it. I saw a couple of those, but that one was so funny.
That was my favorite, remix or whatever that I saw. I thought that was, like you said, like he just nailed it. And, that's again, similar energy. Like, I know I'm a white woman, so I know that I have a certain level of privilege and I should be using it to amplify Black voices, amplify, support for Black causes, that I should direct, subs to support Black business and Black content creators. Like, I'm aware that that should be like a responsibility that I feel. So I always appreciate when like it's a white guy calling out other white guys. Like,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, because it shouldn't be on Black people to educate us. It shouldn't be on Black people to check a bitch. We should be checking each other, because the more that we do that, that becomes the norm.
I also do appreciate when other white guys are calling out white guys, because yeah, for us, like when it's a woman, like we don't even get respected by them anyway, you know? So
Right.
how are they going to be able to level when they already thinks in their bastardized way that we are somehow lesser than them somehow just because we have a coochie? Like I just always thought that
Meanwhile,
that was very silly.
yeah, 100%, because they're the ones who want proximity to us all the time. They want to be entitled to our time, energy, our bodies. It's like, if we're so lesser, why are you so obsessed with us? If Black men are so lesser, why are you so obsessed with them? And you're just afraid that everyone's gonna like notice that they're not obsessed with you. They just think that they can use you as the wallet that you are. Like other countries, like the impact of white supremacy it's delusional. It's like, how can you be superior if you're afraid of extinction? Doesn't make any sense. But like, you want to be walking wallets. So other countries, like, they want to appease white people because they want your money. It's not because they think anything you do is like so special.
And when
Like,
you
even,
really
yeah, please.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just also
No, not
like
at all.
thinking about what you said about white supremacy, because when you learn history and you know history, white people had to be so fucking violent. White people have terrorized and been so violent in our history that you don't even want to fucking teach it in our
For
schools.
real.
Okay? So how are we superior if we had to rape, hurt and mangle and murder to
Mhm.
get into the positions of power that they had?
You had to
Blows
force it.
me.
Like, right. Nobody felt naturally led by you, naturally inspired by you. You had to force it because it's unnatural. Like, I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm just trying to restore the natural order, which is reverence and respect and yielding to the power of melanated people, because I feel like they are more connected to the earth, to
Hmm.
each other, to spirituality. And when they're not, and again, like, I don't mean this to be a slight to anybody, but when they're not brainwashed by white Jesus, because there's white people and people of all colors that are completely misled by white Jesus. White Jesus is not real. The white man's religion is bullshit. It is a means of social control and control over people. And it was, so that's like a whole thing that we could certainly get into at some point. But I just feel like I'm just calling it like it is, and I'm not afraid to call it like it is, versus like these guys that have the same feelings as I do. Like, they're aware of the same reality of like their obsession and why that is, but they don't want to admit to it, right? So they're
Yeah.
terrorizing and, trying to, convince themselves as well as everybody else that the opposite is true, when it's really obvious that you're just
Right.
obsessed with
No,
what you should
nobody
be.
believes you. I mean, we see
Nobody's
right
buying
through it.
like big time though. And some there was somebody I was just watching earlier, and he was just talking. He was like talking about all the different. This is funny. Just, again, you probably see a lot of the same stuff I do, but I just thought that this was funny. That I saw this earlier, so I just thought, like, like, I feel the all the way at the bottom, after being like the biggest POS to everyone. Just, yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit. I feel oppressed. Why do you hate me? You are racist. It's so like, it's just such a perfect encapsulation of you know, the insecure white male where it's just like, so you think you could just like terrorize everybody and they're still gonna love you? Like that's psychotic. That is like that's actually insane. So I just thought that was funny as hell.
That is so funny. I think I have a meme similar where it's like, honey, I'm home, and he's like coming home to his wife, and she's like with a black man, and she's like, I cooked some ramen for you on the stove. Go ahead and enjoy dinner, sweetie.
I swear. Oh my god, I should have pulled up that super funny SNL skit with Michael B. Jordan where he's the insurance salesman and he just takes over the guy. Please tell me you saw that. You know what
No,
I'm
oh
talking
my
about?
god. Oh my god, I don't think I saw
Oh,
that yet. You're gonna have to link that for me.
this is too good. It was the funniest SNL skit that I have
I
ever
love
seen.
me a
I'm
good
trying to, I
SNL
think it was
skit.
a State Farm. I think he was oh my god. He was pretending to be Jake from State Farm. Oh my
I might
god.
have seen it and then I
So
forgot,
funny.
but
Let's see if I can make it big. Like, I don't even care. I'll watch the whole if you haven't seen it, it's worth when I say it's worth the motherfucking watch.
oh my god, this is
Oh,
gonna be juicy.
it is so good. That
Oh my
I can't believe you
god.
haven't seen that. That is
I
like
can't believe I haven't seen that. That is hilarious. That was
too perfect.
golden. That
Yeah,
was
I don't
perfect.
even know if I could play it all the way through like that, but I don't even care. I'll cut it up if I have to because I just needed you to see the whole. I lost my mind when I saw it because again, it's like yeah, it's like this funny oh ha ha ha, but this is like real life. This this is this is real life, and this is happening in real time in pretty much the same way. Like it's just
Women are
you know
waking
because
up.
like that's I mean it's funny like I have to, I talk to black men in the lifestyle who interact with couples and it's just in the beginning like there's that worry that they're going to um agree to do something and then try to back out last minute whatever but it just like we've talked about the cucks like the wives have been too pleasing with their husbands, like making sure their husbands are like comfortable or whatever. But like, so they're going along with it. But you hope that they take control because they really the husbands really they want it. They dream about it every day. And the best
And they
thing,
want it natural. They don't want to have to tell you.
absolutely, they like and it's fun. I have talked to couples like a few times and just making sure that the wife knows like you're in charge now. Like this is he was never going to be big alpha daddy, anyway. So, it shouldn't be such a shock that you are in charge of him, but you are in charge. Like, don't let him try and act like he's running your body, running your life. Like, be for real.
Yeah, be in charge
Yeah.
and be proud of that shit and just own it if you do like it.
Straight up, like just own it. Like I swear, people need to. What was this? Oh yeah, this show. I just want. I don't know if you've seen this. It's cute. This is just some cute little. um, like he was just like, "What does the perfect guy look like?"
Okay,
Or something.
what is the best guy kind of usually look like? Does he usually have a mustache?
Black guy.
Black guy? Okay.
He just like let it go. He was just like, "Oh,
Okay, yeah.
okay." And when we talk about like the influence, being in pop culture, more and more, there's this goddess that we love because she just put it all out there.
Gosh, I would love to do that. Oh my god, Sabrina.
In me. There's a double meaning if you dig deep. She said I should keep it PG. BBC, I wish I had it in me. There's a double meaning if you dig deep.
Oh my god.
It's just it's there. It is just women being more and more unapologetic, than the generation before, because that's what we were dealing with, was like these oppressive, angry, violent, abusive, insecure white beta males. And now they are like the guys that are mad about BNWO or trying to call it racist, call us racist. Like, they're mostly just mad that there's so many white guys. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I have subs that are not white, but the white guys are the most fun with this. Like, most fun to torment and terrorize. And they're the ones who are the most obsessed.
Yeah.
They're the, that they've just been groomed to think of themselves a certain way, but everything in their life is at conflict with that belief they have. So I know that the guys that are mad at us are actually just mad that there's so many white guys consenting to, this type of humiliation or dom sub play or these kinky, relationship dynamics or whatever. Like, they're more mad at them than they are at us.
Yeah, and I think
I just
if you genuinely don't like us or what we're about, you don't have to watch it. So it's a little like backhanded when you're constantly forcing yourself into our spaces and into our content for us to actually believe and buy that you don't agree or like it. Because if you're going to give us attention, like, algorithms are not gonna know that like you're doing this because you don't like it. It's gonna say, "Oh,
Right.
this person loves this. We're gonna show this
Love
person
this.
more."
Like, the algorithm doesn't care if you're hate jerking or happy jerking. Like, they don't know the difference. They just know that you're obsessed with the content, and it's just going to push more of it to you. So stop pretending like you don't love what we do.
I know. It's almost like you're going to be a piggy bank inevitably, but that's neither here or there.
I really, it all comes femdom, findom, cuckolding. It just all is this perfect marriage. And, I'm just so thrilled, like I said earlier, to see so many more Black dominants, of all genders making it their own, because for too long, it was just these, like I said, like these white guys trying to, like, even somebody said something. I saw it earlier and I didn't save it because I didn't really want to give the person attention or whatever, but they said something about how white something about how the white conservatives that are just like angry but obsessed with being cuckolded, like that they're the backbone of BNWO. And it's like, oh no, honey. Like, you have a extinction fetish, you have a race traitor fetish, but unless you are actively serving, paying both Black superiors or a goddess like us who actually has like a Black husband, so, or a Black girlfriend or whatever, and they are living, being taken care of by us through your, payments and everything, like, you are not serving BNWO. You are not BNW. Like, you would be sexless anyway. That does not benefit Black people. You would be a little beta gooning, porn addicted, insult loser anyway. So being that is not BNWO, because it does not, like, BNWO should benefit Black people. And if it is not, if what you are doing and you're trying to call it BNWO is not benefiting Black people, like, it's not BNWO. It's
And
not.
it's just boring to as a dom who wants this to benefit Black people on top of that. So it's like boring if you're not gonna like pay me to give the opportunity to Black people who want, the submissives, fucking financial submission, then go away. You're better off shutting up, watching porn, and jerking off silently and sending to ACLU if you're really gonna be about that shit.
Yeah. I mean, do you have, I was curious, do you have guys that hit you up for whatever sessions or just conversations that are like not even inherently sexual, and like to just talk about like whether it's politics or how you got into this, or something that's non-sexual but
Yeah,
related?
I think it started more when I started doing more TikTok lives, actually. Like, I was pushing myself to do a couple of TikTok lives and had a couple random people who just wanted to sub and send me a ton of money just to chit chat. One guy was in the army. I was like, okay, slay, as long as you're like a progressive army dude. And he was pretty chill. I liked him. I was like, okay, fine. You're not like a cop or something, so I don't hate you, I guess. He's like,
It's
you hate
funny.
cops? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair, right? Because like, and that's like the other, like I was saying about like, giving tasks or whatever. Like, I want like evidence that you are doing what you say you're going to do if that's what you want to talk about. So like with the cops, I have zero trust that they're out here being allies in any sort of way. I feel like they're such a part of a toxic, you know, terrible culture that I don't believe in it. And I feel like you could be watching my content, talking to me, trying to pretend like, oh, I'm trying to learn from you and this and that. And you're able to just go back to being a privileged racist, think you are completely protected, you know, loser bitch boy, probably a racist. And I don't trust. I got no trust. You don't earn you have done nothing to earn my trust. So unless you're coming with receipts of like your cam showing you like letting black people off and making sure that they are protected and properly served as the citizens that it should be, because you're supposed to work for us. This isn't 1800s, early 1900s with
Shoot,
state
honestly though,
patrols.
cops these days are corrupt on the racist side anyway. So it's like, unless you're
Exactly.
willing to actually be corrupt for us, what are we doing?
For
I
real. Like,
want
just
you to
take it the
like
other
let some
direction.
people off the hook, like get some
Yes.
shit done.
Really though, like just if you do not pull them over, if you pull them over, like tell them to have a nice day and leave them the fuck alone. Because
Yeah,
I saw, oh
especially
my God,
weed. That is so petty. Weed is so petty. Let everybody like with weed, leave them alone. Leave them the fuck alone.
I could go on about that for like it is so just interesting to me how, and because I always see it as bait, like when somebody on a platform like TikTok or Instagram or even Twitter, I guess, like tries to bait me to debate them about something like how okay, weed is utilized for medicinal purposes in this country. So therefore nobody, I don't care what the circumstances, nobody should be in jail for it. Period. And the fact that there are so many black men in jail for weed still now to this day, when it is legal in so many places, not just for medicinal reasons but recreationally, it is just so, it's just one of those examples of how we have institutionalized racism. And if you are too insecure, too pathetic to either comprehend that, understand what all those connections are, or like how that is racist, like how you are trying to cripple, black communities and then blame their problems on them. It's just again this peak fragile bullshit that we do not want to be associated with it. We do not want to sleep with somebody who's that pathetic. Like, we definitely don't want to breed with you. So, it's just, you can keep trying to fight it, but we're influencing more and more women all the time. So it's inevitable that you're going to get cucked. And it's either going to be, you're going to get cheated on, you're going to be not even able to get a date, or your wife is just going to come out straight up and be like, listen, I'm going to cuck you. So you might as well just get ahead of the curve and join the winning team.
Yeah, I would
That's what I
suggest
say.
taking your wife or girlfriend if you even have one. Let's be honest, like some of them really like don't even have anything to start with. But if you do have someone, sit them down and say, listen, I think about black men because I watch so much porn, and I think it would be so hot if you started sleeping with black men instead of me. She'll probably just be like, oh, okay, that's
Thrilled.
easy.
She'd probably be like, I used to do that. I've been wanting to do that again. I love black men. I've been thinking about cheating on you. I already have been cheating on you. Like, oh, like it just, every time that I do talk to somebody and they do open it up to a girlfriend, and I only know this from like either texts or videos or pictures or, screenshots of conversations, like, like I said, receipts, because unless there's receipts, I'm just assuming that we're talking fantasy here. The women, for the most part, just need to know that you, as the white male, like that you are not going to freak out and get violent or freak out in some, like they just need to know that they can be honest, that they can be upfront, that this is something that they would love to do, that they would love to have this lifestyle, and that, you know, they just need you to stay out of the way. Like, even better if you understand compersion and understand prioritizing her pleasure and like the pleasure that you should be getting out of, the person that you supposedly love being so perfectly, fulfilled, able to, indulge in these fantasies that, she was afraid to be honest about. We just need to know that you're not going to shoot up a place because you're angry at the fact that this went from fantasy to reality. So, we're here. This is what we're here to help you. This is safe space. Like, we can be scary because it's fun to be scary, but we're not scary all the time. Not
We're
all the
still
time.
real people at the end of the day, and we still
Scary.
recognize that you guys are also people. I mean, like, you might be, beta ass dudes with little dicks, but that doesn't mean you're not a person. And we might not always care about how some of our opinions make you feel because, we're just blunt people and we're, at a stage in life where it is what it is. We've heard our own things where we had to just hear it and move on. So you can do the same thing. Oh well. That's
Lord
life.
knows they haven't cared for centuries what anybody feels or experiences because of what they think and feel. So, it's karma is a bitch,
It
but
really is.
she's
It
got the
really
biggest
is.
strap on. She's that karma. She's got the biggest strap on, and you will bend over for it. It
Freedom
is.
of speech, when it actually is true freedom of speech, gets real harsh, doesn't it?
Yeah, real. It does, doesn't it? It gets a little hard to swallow, but don't worry. We are experienced size queens, and who better to help you take something that big and uncomfortable than us?
Hard to swallow. I loved that. Like,
Keeping it real. Well, Lady Viper, I think that we have had just an incredibly enlightening conversation. Like, I mean, I love chatting with you all the time, but I think we really, helped give some insight into, our world where, the fact that this lifestyle is out there. It is not, as rare as maybe some of these insecure little beta bitches who haven't accepted their natural place would like to have you think. Is it is thriving. We are thriving over here. Our community grows bigger every day, and the amount of, again, on Racey, we're really delving into this. I am 100% going to have some of these submissives on to discuss how how happy they are to have found us, to have found a place where they can be honest about, their feelings and their inadequacies and their frustrations and their obsession, and definitely some, Black superiors that are both really love the BNWO lifestyle, really enjoy that, element of the race play lifestyle. But also, I'm definitely going to have people on that maybe don't super vibe with it because I want to hear from all sides,
yeah.
and I think that these conversations are important to let people know what lifestyles are out there, and that it may seem kind of wild from the outside, but I think there's more wild shit that goes on non-consensually all the time. So the
I think
fact that
it's
people want
okay
to
to be
come to us,
wild and out there. I mean, like, if you're not wild and out there, are you really like living life? Like,
are you even living?
you
Let's
shouldn't
have
be
some
so
fun.
boring.
Let's have some fun. So I don't. If you have any closing thoughts, please feel free to share. But we really, covered a lot of the topics that I wanted to. So really happy. Also, here's our girl again. Let's end on this. I just like this. Man's best friend. Look at this shit. That's not a right
Ah,
hand. That's my girl right there.
I love
Oh,
her.
I love her. Like,
Girl, and the people were like, "Oh, she's so sexual." She
yes, she
really isn't
is.
even that bad.
It's like, and bisexual, you just mean that she doesn't hide her sexuality and hide her comfort with what she likes and what she likes to do and her preferences and everything. It's like, again,
Maybe they're mad she kicked the white boy to the curb.
you really are. You really are. I'm just like waiting, I would love the day that I don't care what fucking celebrity it is, that she comes out with her cucky boyfriend and makes it very like, oh yeah, he loves to watch. Like, just, oh, it's coming. It's coming. Like,
Either
it
that or
is.
she's gonna pop out with a black king finally.
Like, come on already.
Would be
It could
nice to
happen.
like I know you love The Weekend, but it would also be cute
Oh, Abel.
to see them pop out. It would be cute. It would be I would ship that.
Baby
Like
Abel.
I
I
would
would
ship that.
love. I will. Yeah, it's funny. I was always hoping that him and Ariana were gonna end up together.
I know they would be so cute too.
I mean, that weirdo that she's with, I think he would make the perfect little cuck. So, and he's already into like theater and everything. So I feel like dressing him up like a sissy would just be a natural evolution. So
I mean, it would just be like another dinner and a show.
I'm saying, let's make it happen. Come on, guys. Stop hiding. But okay, I have just loved this. I hope that you will come back on at some point. I just maybe when we have Cucky Sethi on, we can
I'd
just
love to join for Cookie Sethi. That would be so funny.
yeah, I think that would be a lot of fucking fun, honestly. Because
We'll have to have
again,
him bring up the bar day.
oh my gosh, which he said that that day we were kicking his balls at the bar, which mind you, we like a couple times we like acknowledged people watching. We were just like, y'all cool, and they were just loving it. Like more and more people kept coming out to watch. So, you know, people like it. He said it was one of the best days of his entire life. So, you know,
We were
I
just
think
drinking and having a girls' day, and he just kind of
I
came along and got his balls kicked. I mean,
like, I just think that we need to start accepting that, just because it sounds crazy to you because you haven't tried it doesn't mean that it doesn't make our subs feel seen and whole and like they found their natural place. So, we're just making the world a better place one day at a time.
and this is just girlhood. I mean, welcome to new age girlhood. You
This
get
is
to kick
QOS
guys in the
sisterhood, baby.
QoS sisterhood.
We beat balls together. We worship black kings together. We love on our black queens together. We educate the world together. We're just like I said, making the world a better place. And I would like to let me just let you know this is the QoS seal from the company QoS Seal, and that is official QoS, and that is a black owned brand that you can find online. So I'm trying to represent when I'm on here that there are a lot of black owned businesses that are fetish brands. And, I'm so thrilled because this lifestyle would be nothing without black superiors. So black superiors should be benefiting from it 100%. So, little bitch boys, your place. Go send donations, go send us gifts from black owned businesses, show your place. Lady Viper, if you could just let them know where they could follow you real quick.
You
Please.
can follow me on Twitter at LadyViperQOS. The L in Lady is capital, and then Q and S is capital as well.
Write it down, bitch boys. And, for everybody just joining in, I really appreciate, I hope that you really learned something. I hope you have questions. I'll be checking the comments, curious about what people think because we love it. We love our lifestyle. Thank you so much, the beautiful Lady Viper, for taking the time. I know you've got bitch boys to beat and sissies to drain and black things to love on. So thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be here. I really appreciate you and I love you. And I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon, baby. You bitch boys can also find me on OnlyFans at LadyBlacked so definitely make sure you check me out. I'm going to be busting lots of balls with Lady Anaconda this summer.
Yes, there's going to be lots of new fun content now that we are reconnected. So in person, it's going to be game over.
Game over for all these white boys who have been waiting.
Oh, they love it. So don't feel bad for them because that's
Who
white
would?
privilege
Who
today.
would?
That's white privilege today. Chastity and FLR and cuckolding.
Well,
All
you
right,
have a good
everybody.
night.
You too, beauty. This is another episode of Racey. Thank you so much for being here. I am Lady Anaconda, your BNWO enforcer and elite QoS and founder of House of Anaconda. So make sure you stay tuned for the next episode. And Lady Viper, you're the hottest.
Bye.